And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. I apologize for the extended break here, but we did just need some time to get ready for our final qualifying match of this Korean qualifier. Welcome back to the Esports World Cup 2024 South Korean Open Qualifier. We already had 2 players make it through into the closed event. We did have Bunny alongside Shin, a Terran and a Zerg, and now we have room for a Protoss. One of each race. The balance. It's beautiful, Pappy. It's beautiful. But there's only enough room for one player. Only one spot left. It all comes down to this final series of the qualifier, this final PvP, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn. We have our South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Twisted Minds. It is Stats. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the other South Korean Protoss, the Blue Protoss, representing Blacklist International. It is Creator. Here we go. So we did hear earlier that, of course, the timer is blocked currently by the overlays. These are overlays that we were provided with. The overlays will be updated for the European qualifier. So once we wrap up with the Korean qualifier, in between the Korean and the European qualifier, we'll be updating the overlays, and we will be allowing for the timer to be shown. As a heads up, timer will soon be shown. All good. But now we're settling in. It's going to be a double gate opener here out of Stats, just 2 gate opener into Aggression. Meanwhile, Creator cutting corners, going for a gate expand. Bold move. A bold move by Creator. Again, he's going for the gateway into Cybercore, into a Nexus. Now, we have gone for a second gas. Bear that in mind. So what does this mean? With a two gas opener, this means that Creator has the option to go for a Stargate before the expansion, just to be a little bit safer. So if Stats responds with a 1 base all-in, then Creator can respond with Void Ray production to help survive and get into his 2 base setup and get into Immortals and pull off a defense against an all-in. So we have the option to go for the Stargate. Meanwhile, Stats, he is on the low ground. He does confirm that there's only 1 gateway, so Stats, he's aware of the more economic potential that Creator is going for. So Creator's being greedy, Stalkers are on the way, and Stats has the option to double down and go for an all-in to try to punish Creator. Yeah, Probe Scout will confirm getting into the main. We spoke about it because of the double gas. There we go, Stargate is on the way first, followed by the expansion. So Gate, Cyber into Stargate, into expansion from Creator. A nice pylon block will delay the expansion back across the map. Stats has to make a choice. Do we throw down a 3rd gateway and a robo, or do we throw down an expansion instead? We're expanding. It looks to be the case here for Stats. Adepts are moving out across the map. The goal here is to harass, to try to get some economic damage done. Expansion soon to be on the way. Creator is the first to expand. Stats not too far behind. Meanwhile, I should also say predictions. Predictions are open. Predictions are open. I forgot to mention it. I should type in the chat. Predictions open. Predictions are open, so you can place your bets. Upon hearing this message, I think predictions have already closed. So best of luck with your gamba, with the bets that were placed. Best of luck. As the Oracle has arrived, zoning away those adepts. And so far, Stats hasn't really done much damage here. Has not accomplished much. As we do force a recall, 1 adept goes down, and Creator defends. Creator gets away with more economic start. Ooh, Creator was forced to finish the shield battery. Ay, ay, ay. Bit of a slip up here from Creator. Has to knock it down. Now, because Stats did not go for the Stargate, he's going for a faster Twilight Council, working towards Blink. Creator, he is slightly behind here in his own Blink timing, but he's on the way. Oracle so far finding no damage. Stats is in position. 2 Stalkers in the main, 2 Stalkers in the natural. We have sentries as well. And so far, we are holding our own. The game is calming down at least a little bit. 2nd Oracle has arrived. And now we can one-shot. We can one-shot workers, one-shot probes. We can get a little bit more damage done. It is a big commitment here for Creator to invest into 2 Oracles, but as we mentioned, we can one-shot workers, so we can still make this worth our while. Stalkers in position, we do get 3 probe kills. Oh my god, 3 probes for 1 Oracle, that is not a worthwhile trade here. Creator, He did fly too close to the sun, did not respect the positioning here of Stats. And Stats does defend. And this opener has not been worth it for Creator. Not yet. I should say the tech. The Stargate wasn't quite worth it. Creator, I mean, he's up in workers because of his faster expansion. He has 40 workers compared to the 37 of his opponent. So a slight economic lead, but Stats is a faster third base to make up for that. Faster third base here for Stats. We'll get up and running that much sooner. Creator trying to keep up. Getting into his own Forge, into his own Gateway. Blinkstalker versus Blinkstalker. We're getting into the mid game. Working towards the mid game here. We are working towards it. And yeah, until then, we're just settling into our 3-base setup. Into our 3-base economies. Oracles being active just to try to get some extra damage done, or scouts. I mean, there's still potential for damage with this Oracle, thankfully. But doesn't quite get much done. Especially with Blink, it's going to be that much more difficult to get some probe kills. We at least have the stasis back at home. And for now, both players are committed into a gateway composition. We can see Stats doubling down, working towards charge. Creator has yet to invest into his own charge, but I imagine it's on the horizon. Again, very common to go into charge ults, then into Archons from there. Or we could decide to double down and go Mass Blink Stalker. That's also an option. Oh, we have options, man. We have options. Okay, we're going for charge. We are going to be incorporating some charge. For those that are curious as to why, when it comes to Stalker versus Stalker, I mean, they're very micro-intensive, that is true, and they can do a lot of damage, but they're also vulnerable. They're vulnerable to Lings in PvZ, and Zealots likewise as well. Zealots, they do a great job at closing the distance, getting on top of Stalkers and swiping away at them. Because of the attack rate of Stalkers, they are vulnerable to the swipes of Zealots, and that is why when we get a high enough Zealot count, we need to incorporate Archons. And there we go. Temple Archives is on the way for Stats for that Archon production. Archons, they take a lot of hits because of their shields, and they also do splash damage. They're ideal against Zealots. So once the Zealot count gets high enough, then both players should be working towards Archons, then both players should be investing into Immortals to help focus down the Archons, and then we head into Disruptor production. Now, some players like to rush into Disruptors sooner, but we can see that neither player has taken that step. Both players are going towards Archons. Neither player has gone into a bait. So no one is rushing into Disruptors, no one is going Phoenix, for example, or going Pure Stalker. The Zealots have warped in, we're knocking down the Rux. And Creator does get eyes on this. We'll pull back. So far the Blinks are solid, no one losing anything. Reinforcing Zealots have arrived. The armies are quite comparable with each other. Creator already getting one Immortal, but likewise Stats working on his own as well. Building up that Immortal count. Creator setting up. Additional shield batteries on the way, stasis traps as well. He is working towards those traps. And Stats is going to be rotating around. He doesn't find a way in yet. Again, as we mentioned before, the army sizes are quite comparable with each other, and I mean that does mean that the defender does have that extra bonus, that extra advantage of stasis traps, shield battery, overcharge. It's going to take a lot to break this position. And Stats, he doesn't like what he sees, he backs off. Backs off, rotates around, getting a fourth, getting it up and running. Building up more Immortals and Archons, I imagine. And yeah, we're just entering a much more passive game one for the PvPs. Just a lot more passive here, just building up, a lot of posturing as well. Passive maybe not the best word for it, but no one's committed. Not yet. As I say that, Stats does trigger the first stasis, but oh my god! A massive stasis here on the Stalkers and the Zealots, and that's go time. Creator, he does pull the trigger. He knows that he has momentum on his side. Takes down the Observer, chasing down the Prism as well. And Stats, he's in trouble. Time working against Creator, though. That Stage Trap about to run out. And yeah, we're breaking through. We break through the first line of Zealots. We're getting on top of the Prism. The Prism goes down. Stage Trap did run out, but the damage has been dealt. Creator swallowing up the first army, and now there's only half the army left. Yeah, Stats, he's hurting so much. One wrong move is all it takes here in StarCraft. One misstep, one mistake, and that can be game. And in a mirror matchup especially, it's so much more unforgiving. And Creator, yeah, snowballs out of control. GG gets called, and Creator takes game number 1. GG. That was brutal. Just an insane stasis. One Creator the game. Unfortunately, Stats, he was unaware of the second stasis trap. He triggered one, but didn't trigger the other. And, yeah, it was a one and done there. Everything very quickly snowballing and escalating so quickly. And with that, Creator takes a lead. Creator is one step closer to qualifying, but it's a best of 5. Plenty more games ahead of us. And to be honest, if it wasn't for that one stasis trap, it wasn't for that rough moment, if it wasn't for that rough moment, then I mean, we would have most likely seen a longer game. Things were quite close between both the players. Things were still very back and forth. There was no clear big advantage for either Stats or Creator. So it would have been going either. It could have gone either way if we had avoided that. I'm fighting back a sneeze. Fighting the sneeze back. Fighting the sneeze. With that, GG. GG, we're getting ready for that second game. Oh my god, and we're already loading in. Are loading in. Just make sure we have everyone. Yeah, we're good, we're good. And game 2 is going to be on Alcyone. Let's go. Let us go. Meanwhile, I hope everyone in the chat has been enjoying themselves. I know it's been, it's going to be a long day today. It is a lovely evening. Embracing one qualifier followed by the other. I appreciate that we don't have, like, a trifecta. It's not like Korea into Europe into NA. Like, that would be brutal. It's just Korea into Europe, and then we can sleep. Then we can sleep, and then tomorrow is the Americas and Asia. But here we go. We're jumping into game number 2 and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Alcyone. We have our South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Twisted Minds down in the series. But I don't think game 1 was really too indicative of anything major. Here was just one small misstep, and we can recover. It's okay. We have Stats for Twisted Minds. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss representing Blacklist International. It is Creator. Let's go. We're getting into that second game. Again, Creator and Stats were very neck and neck in game number 1 until the stasis. Like, the reality is that ended the game. Then and there, the game did end. It was just a massive moment in favor of Creator, and was able to just capitalize on that so quickly. Well, now we're settling into game 2, and I can definitely see this going the distance. I can see this being back and forth. I want to believe that Stats can fight back, as this time it's going to be a 2-gate opener. 2-gate opener out of Creator, 2-gate opener out of Stats. We are settling in. And no one is rushing into any kind of greedy start here, like we did in the previous game. Not this time. This time, as for now, it's going to be double Adept out of Creator. Interesting. Meanwhile, we have double Stalker out of Stats. The way this works is that, of course, Creator is going to be looking to zoom across the map and get economic damage done. 2 Adepts do one-shot probes. Meanwhile, double Stalker, if they encounter the Adepts, the Stalkers, they will win in a head-to-head fight. Stalkers do have a lot more DPS potential, a lot of damage potential. And likewise, we can follow this up with additional Stalkers and move out across the map and apply pressure and try to snowball out of control. Meanwhile, that is going to be a 3rd and 4th Adept on the way. We could even double down and go into a 5th and 6th Adept as well. Just go Mass Adept. See how aggressive a Creator wants to be. Adepts, they skirt around the edge of the map. They avoid the Zonaga, which means Stats misses the army. Creator is slipping in. And we will find a sentry. 2 even. Stats racing back. We do end up walling up. Do wall off. 1 Adept does get in. Just the one though. Remember, it takes 2 shots. We get 1 probe. And can we get a second? Up! Oh my god, just barely not. Adept will shade out. And we did double down. That is a 5th and 6th Adept on the way. Just mass Adept here from Creator. Mass aggression. Does have to respect those Stalkers. Will threaten another shade. Not quite committing this time. And back at home, we are just working towards our tech of choice. It's going to be a Robo Opener out of Creator. Meanwhile, Stats going for a Twilight Council into Blink. So Stats will have map control. He will have a more mobile army with Blink Stalkers. Meanwhile, Creator instead will have the potential to go into a Prism to send these Adepts right into the main base, right into the mineral line. Likewise, we have Immortal Production as well. The Adepts have made it. Hallucination Scout does confirm the Robo, so Stats, he's fully aware of the potential of a War Prism. Speaking of the War Prism, there it is. War Prism's on the way. And we commit to the shade. Oh my god. We focus on as many workers as we can. That's going to be 6 probes falling. Not just 6, we're going for another. Force fields are thrown down. We do shut down a good portion of these Adepts, but the damage is still done. 8 probes fall. Ay, ay, ay. And that was merely the first step, the first wave. Now, what is scary? We've been spending a lot of supply harassing. Meanwhile, Stats has been building up an army. Stats, he has a death blow of an army right now, moving out across the map, and Creator, he barely has anything left. Remember, he's been focusing on harassing. He's been spending his supply to harass. Not on a main army, not on a fighting force. And here we go, the Stalkers have arrived. Shield Battery is about to finish up just in time. We need force fields. We're going to need those force fields. We need to try to slow down the push. Stats. Ooh, trying to bait out those force fields as well. He commits! He commits in. He does focus on the shield battery. No overcharge. And the boys have to be pulled. Alas, the force field's working against Creator. Does Mineral walk past? Does rush past. The Immortal has arrived and we can clean this up completely. Very nicely done. The Immortal does shut down every single Stalker. We only lose 3 probes. And meanwhile, across the map, here come those Adepts. And this is the beginning of a 2-base all-in. We have a 3rd gateway. We should be getting up to 4 gates. Yep, there we go. We have a 4-gate setup. Glaives, Immortals, 2-base all-in out of Creator. But before we can embrace it, we have Adepts in the mineral line, in the main. And Stats, he saw the Robo Opener earlier. He should have been aware, but alas, he's not ready. GG gets called. Not ready for this. Not ready for the Adepts. And Creator will take a 2-0 lead. GG. Bobby. Oh my god. GG, well played. Creator does take a lead here. Again, he was able to shut down the aggression of Stats and able to completely clean up the Stalker army. There was potential. There was definitely potential there for Stats to break the natural, but the Immortal came in just in time. We did buy enough time by pulling the boys, and we barely lost any workers. And again, Stats was out of position towards the end there. He was not ready for Adepts in the mineral line. Not ready to lose even more workers. And with that, Stats forced to tap out. And I mentioned before that I was hoping for a back and forth. I was hoping for a longer series, but Creator, he needs one more. One more game here to take it all. To win it all. And to make it into the closed qualifier. He's so close. He is so close. And we'll see if the series ends here and now in Game 3, or if Stats can fight back. And I want to believe he can, but will he? It's a lot of pressure on Stats at the moment. A lot of pressure. Again, we did mention that there's only one qualifier for each region. That's how brutal the EWC is, the Esports World Cup. Only the best of the best. It's very cutthroat. And, alas, in this one qualifier, we've already had Shin, we've already had Bunny. Stats got knocked down by Shin earlier. Creator got knocked down by Bunny, and now against each other, Creator has the edge. He has the advantage. And we'll see that continues to be the case. See if that does continue. Meanwhile, shout out to, I see Dash in the chat. Let's go. Creator's teammate. Shout out to Blacklist International, the Blacklist boys. See Peko Eta as well. Good morning, good morning. Here we go, we're jumping into that third game, potentially the final game of the series. I hope it isn't, you know, I'm hoping that we can extend this a little bit longer and have a longer back and forth, but it's not up to me, it's up to Stats. Up to Stats to turn it all on here and now. Let's go. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Golden Aura, we have our South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss. He needs your energy, he needs your support in the chat here and now to make a series out of this. One more loss and he's out of the tournament. Representing Twisted Minds, it is Stats. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the other South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Blacklist International. One more game is all he needs to qualify for the closed qualifier. It is Creator. Let's go. Let us go. As we're going to be loading into Golden Aura, we have potential to go for a more economic opener here. We could go for a gate expand. For now, double gas openers all around. It's looking like 2 gates. Looks like a 2-gate opener here from Stats and Creator. Looks like something more standard. So we are going to be embracing that second gateway. There we go. 2 gateways from Stats, 2 gateways from Creator. Now, we've seen that Creator's been quite fond of Adept aggression. We've seen both in Game 1 and in Game 2, Adepts initially from Creator. We'll see if that continues to be the case. Meanwhile, Creator, where are we headed? Where are we going? Both Creator and Stats moving out with their probes. And it looks like we're both going for fake proxy pylons. You can see Stats throwing his own down towards the top right-hand corner. Meanwhile, Creator throwing his down just outside the main. So the way this works here is that the second pylon is going to be hidden. Probe scouting is very common in PvP, and if your second pylon is missing, the chances of there being a proxy is quite high. Oh, and actually we're going to commit. My apologies, this should be a Stargate, right? Cybercore's done, yep, Stargate opener out of Stats. Creator, what are we going for? As Stargate opener out of Creator, mirrored build so far. Now, the reason why this should have been Stargate, and it is because we're not actually too close to the main bases. We're close by air, but not really by ground, so again, it's just a way to harass. Meanwhile, we scout the proxy. Stats does get eyes on the Stargate, is fully aware. That should trigger a shield battery response in the mineral line. Yeah, Stats is going to rotate back around. And meanwhile, Creator is in the dark. Stalker has arrived, and the probe scout is denied. Nice pick off. Stats could go Phoenix. Yep, I'm loving this choice. Phoenix first here out of Stats. Now, because both players went Stargate, we should be seeing Oracles. And it would have been double Oracle. Or Oracle out of Stats, Oracle out of Creator. But last, because we are aware of the Stargate, we can go Phoenix and we can camp the production. We can camp this Stargate and shut the Oracle down and snowball out of control. Yeah, the Stalkers have arrived. Very good start here for Stats. He will shut this down, or at least he should. The first Oracle will warp in. But what can we get done? Meanwhile, across the map, Creator does arrive. Knocks down the probe, pushing in towards the main. Stats not quite in position. Oracle moves out, is under fire. Meanwhile, across the map, Stalkers, they do bust in. They break down the front door. They threaten to dive. We think better of it. Yeah, we're going to turn back around. With all these Phoenixes, the problem is that we can lift. We can lift the Stalkers, one after the other. You can see Stats, he's hunting down the army of Creator. He's looking for it. Hunting down these Stalkers. Creator, he does waddle away. And does escape. Okay, he will escape. Meanwhile, we did invest into the shield battery in the main. A bit of overkill, but did throw it down just in case. Back at home, Creator going for it. A robo opener instead. He's going for the robo. Phoenix as they pick off one probe so far. Just the one probe taking a bit of hull damage. Not too much, not yet. The Oracles head towards the main. Creator is keeping up. Is it keeping up so far? But Stats does that position, gets 3 probes in the main. Very nicely done. And back at home, we're working towards our next step. Twilight Council. We have a Twilight Council on the way. Forge as well for +1 for Blink. Meanwhile, Creator, no Twilight Council yet. Could be investing into Immortals and +1. Speaking of Immortals, Stats is the first to make his own. So Stats honestly is in a really nice position. He's able to get extra economic damage done. You can see here 5 probe kills so far. He shut down the Stargate, shut down the Oracle. Creator just wasn't able to make use of his own Oracle at all. Stats still threatening these mineral lines with those Phoenixes. And Creator's in a rough position. He's in a very rough position here. Taking a fast start. Okay, that's a way to catch up. Interesting. So Creator is gonna be playing very defensively actually. And the way this works is, remember, there's no Twilight Council, there's no Blink, there's no upgrades to be active on the map. We should just be taking a third base, probing up, and getting into Immortal production. I'm a little bit surprised, no Immortals yet. Stats not too far behind with his own third. Not too far. Phoenix is coming back in. Creator is keeping up. For now. He is able to keep up. And I still want to give the edge to Stats here. Like overall, like he's just been a little bit more successful with his army, with his opener, with his build. And we're still not done. We get another 2 probes. 2 more probes go down. All 3 Phoenixes do escape. They do all get away. Creator just having a hard time pinned back at home. Has been stuck defending, but even in doing so is struggling. Struggling to defend. See Creator trying to catch that, or trying to catch these Phoenixes. So far unable to. Creator investing now into Temple Archives. No upgrades, by the way. What I mean by that is there's no Blink or no Charge. We're just going Immortal Archon instead. Just very defensive. Very defensive style here at the Creator. Very tech heavy. Not very mobile, what I should say. It's a very immobile army here from the Blue Protoss. Meanwhile, Stats taking up as well. That's 3 Immortals already. My god. It's quite an amount of Immortals. Getting into a 4th. The first to take a 4th. Stats looking to get further ahead. Does threaten another probe. Doesn't get it. And now we see Creator expanding. It's quite a late expansion here from Creator. He just saw the 4th base of his opponent. So more of a reactive 4th. Still building up. Phoenix is rotating over. They will get eyes on this. They will get eyes on the expansion. We're going for feedbacks. Not well. They're coming in. Not too bad. We do feedback all 3 Phoenixes. But they all still survive, is the problem. They'll survive, they recall back home. And does Stats push is the question. He's up 20 army supply. Well, just over 10, really. But what do we have to work with? Comparing the armies, we have an even Immortal count. We have an even Archon count as well. But Stats has 13 charge lots. And Creator has yet to invest. Still no charge. Working with slow lots instead. Creator is up in upgrades, but that's now about to change. We have +4 attack for both players. And Stats pushing in. And Creator's been playing catch up. He does kind of well against the Zealots, but the first Archon goes down. Here we focus down the shield, but we focus down at that overcharge. We deny it. Nice juggling here from Creator, but he's being forced back. There's just an overwhelming army. Stats, he knocks down the 4th base. And you can see that Creator he cannot keep up. He cannot hold the candle to this army. The Phoenixes, they come into play. We pick up the Immortals. GG gets called, and Stats will fight back, putting a point on the board. GG. GG, well played. A very rough start for Creator. The initial proxy did fall in its face. The proxy Oracle didn't do much at all, and likewise the Phoenixes just took advantage of Creator. They shut down the Oracle, they crippled the economy, they allowed Stats to look very comfortable and very in control of Game 3. And with that, Stats puts a point on the board. Let's go. We're bouncing back, Papi. We're bouncing back. We have a series here, and this could still go either way. As Creator is still 1 game away from winning, meanwhile Stats 1 game away from forcing an ace match. Let's go. We are going to be getting ready here. And the question becomes, what is our map of choice and what openers do we go for as well? You know, Creator was trying to be cheeky with the proxy Stargate. I imagine no more proxies out of Creator. Stats could take a risk. He could take a risk and go for a proxy of his own. Is possible. Is possible here. And we do have our lobby. It looks like we're going to be loading into Ghost River. Oh my god. What were the vetoes? Okay, bold move. We're getting into Ghost River here of all maps. A very aggressive map, very short rush distance by ground. Aggression is favored here. Do we go for a proxy? Do we go for a 2-base all-in? I'm leaning towards... I wouldn't be surprised if Creator goes for Immortal Glaives again. If he does it again. If you recall, it was a build that he did embrace on Alcyone. He actually didn't quite get into it. Glaives didn't even finish because the game ended before we got into our 2-base push. But it's something that we see quite often on this map. Now, Blue Protoss has already shown that he's willing to embrace that, but here we go, we're getting into our next game. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ghost River, we have our South Korean Protoss player putting a point on the board, making a series out of this. He still needs your support in the chat, representing Twisted Minds. It is Stats. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent, we have the South Korean Protoss player, 1 game away from qualifying with a closed qualifier representing Blacklist International. It is Creator. Let's go. Let's us go. As we do have our Probe Scout moving out for Creator. Hold on, just... I need my glasses. I can't see. I can't see. Here we go. Probe Scout here from Creator is going to be confirming the opener of choice. It's going to be 2 gateways here out of Stats. Likewise, 2 gate out of Creator. Checking our vision stats is just now moving up with his own probe, just at a more regular timing. And Creator, he's looking for the pylon. He's looking for that second pylon, making sure that it is not going to be proxied. And as we can see, it's going to be at home for both players. Stats coming in with his own probe, with his own scouts. There's a pylon next to the gas for Creator. Likewise, pylon next to the gas for Stats as well. So this time there is no proxy, there is no Stargate. Both players are aware. Just because there's no proxy does not mean there's no all-in potential. There definitely is. On a map as small as Ghost River. We shall see. As Stalkers are morphing in. It's going to be double Stalker out of Stats, double Stalker out of Creator. There's a lot of aggressive potential here with both players. We could go to a third and fourth Stalker behind this and just double down and just send that across the map. The pylons do indicate an expansion, but we could try to fake out our opponents. Stats going for the probe block, so does Creator. Both players go for their blocks. And Creator, he's actually going for his tech first, going for a Stargate. Stargate opener out of Creator. Probe is shut down. Ooh, for both players. And the pylon finishes. Okay, big delay here for Stats. Stats, he's got resources, he's got gas, he's got minerals, but the last it looks like Stats, he wants to expand. Does want to expand. Stalker, they knock down the pylon. Nexus has been thrown down for both players. Creator even faster than that of Stats, but Stats has the higher Stalker count. He has Stalkers to work with. He's moving out across the map. Creator has the high ground. Stats does not push up the ramp. Not yet. Hoping to catch out any stray units. Stutter stepping forward. At the same time, Creator coming in from behind. He does avoid those Stalkers. And he's headed for the natural, going for a probe scout. A follow-up probe scout even. We'll get eyes on the sentries, the Stalkers, the expansion. Creator confirms. He confirms there is an expansion, and now here come the Oracles. Oracles, they make their way across the map. Last we're in position. As Stats was ready for this, he did not quite see the tech, but he was playing it safe. 2 Stalkers in the main, and 4 Stalkers at the natural. The Oracles aren't getting any damage done yet, but it was a double Oracle opener out of Creator. Does get 1 probe. And gets a second probe as well. Blink not quite done. Not a bad start, 2 probe kills so far. But we're hoping for more. I mean, hey, we saw in Oceanborn how well Oracles can really be for you with those stasis traps. Did win Creator of the game on Oceanborn, so definitely don't underestimate them. As the aggression has not subsided, both Oracles join forces. We have 2 Adepts threatening a shade. We do get into the main! Aye, not quite in position. No denial. 2 probes go down. We're gonna get a third. Can we get a fourth? Ooh. Might be able to. We do. We get 4 probe kills so far. Meanwhile, Oracles, they hit the natural, but we are in position. Stats does affect the Oracles, but he bleeds out 4 probes in the process, and Creator takes a lead. Creator takes a worker lead. In position, both players, they expand. They take third bases. Third base for Stats, third base for Creator. As both players are working towards a blink. And I do appreciate as well that, especially because blink is done, the Oracles for Creator, they race back home and we're just throwing down stasis traps. Just have our stasis traps set up instead. Ready for any aggression. Likewise, Creator setting up a proxy location to warp in across the map. Forge is on the way. Interesting that Creator has not invested into his own Forge, so Stats will have an upgrade lead. Oh my god, double Forge, double upgrades, okay. Stats doubling down. +1 attack is on the way, and second Forge should be for +1 armor. Meanwhile, Creator going for the proxy gateway. Charge is on the way. It's going to be a 4-gate setup for Creator. Stats getting into his own 4 gates as well. We're getting there. Alas, these gateways are going to take a little bit longer to kick in, and Creator is already pushing forward. Creator has a Stalker. I was going to say has a Stalker lead. Never mind, we're even on Stalkers. We have an even Stalker count. Shield batteries in position. We have an overcharge as well. Stats should be able to hold on. Yeah, he does hold his own. We can reinforce on the front lines. Creator going for 4 more gateways. Getting on the Stalkers. Oh, doesn't quite get them. Oracle's into the main, but we are in position. Yeah, we get 2. We get 3 probe kills. Stats was ready for this. Again, that's why I'm impressed that Stats, he held despite being down in Stalkers. He has 3 Stalkers pinned at his natural on his main. But Stats is keeping up for now. We're going for the sentries. We got 1. Not quite the other. Charge will start amassing. Very crisp timing here out of Creator. I don't know if you noticed, but Creator, he did not take his gases at his 3rd base or at his natural. Staying on a low gas count, going mass charge lots. No immortals, no forge, no upgrades. This is turning into a 3-base all-in. The Creator is very committed, borderline all-in. Meanwhile, Stats, with the extra gases, is investing into upgrades, into immortals. But here we go, the charge lots have arrived, and Creator is going for the kill! Gets a shield battery! Takes down the shield battery, is going for the immortal, will blink past. And the immortal is focused down. Charge lots going ham, they shut down the mineral line, and it looks like Creator, he has too much. He catches the Stats out. I say that reinforcements are on the way. Stats, can we hold? It's gonna be close. With these reinforcements though, it looks like Creator, he should still have enough. He does blink back, does waste some Stalker shots though on the Nexus. Creator has to retreat, but again, he killed a mineral line. He got 15 probes. We can reinforce, we can keep pushing. Meanwhile, Stats, now with an Immortal, with an Archon. Shield battery is being rebuilt as we speak. The longer this goes on, the better it is for Stats. Remember, Stats has 1-1. These are 0-0 units for Creator. But he's pushing forward nonetheless. Going for the Archon. Does target it down. But we're running out of Zealots. Stats, he's holding. Stats, he is barely holding on, and he's outscaling Creator. At the same time, Oracle dips in, but we have side defense. We have cannons in both mineral lines. And again, Creator had to end the game with that first push. He didn't. And now it's looking worse and worse for Creator. It is looking worse here. Shield battery is still up and running. We have a backup Archon on the way. These Zealot reinforcements are not good enough. Not anymore. Oof. Bleeding off 2 Stalkers. And it looks like we're 1 step closer here to the ace match. I mean, Stats, as long as we don't overextend. I mean, we're investing into +2. +2 is on the way. We can just work. We can work towards 2-2. So it's all good. No Immortal, just the Archon. Creator, he's hoping that maybe Stats is too greedy, but the Observer sees everything. Stats, he sees the army. He knows. Stats, he knows not to be too greedy. He shuts down some of these Stalkers. Punishes Creator. 4th base is on the way. I would still love to see like another Gas Geyser and Immortals. As Creator is attempting to overwhelm. Creator does have the army supply lead, but remember, the quality of the army is just better for Stats. Here we go, the Mass Zealot's going to be charging on forward. We are out of range of the overcharge, bear that in mind. It's also, if they can, the Archons, they push forward, getting on top of the Zealots. The Zealots, they melt before the Archons. Yeah, massive Archon shots going up. And Stats, he is still shutting this down. Yeah, the shield battery comes into play. GG gets called. Stats, he shuts down the all-in. And Stats will force the ace match. GG. We're going all the way to Game 5. We're going to the ace match. Let's go. Again, like Creator, that first wave that hit the third base that had to end the game. Then and there that had to end it. And Creator was doing well for himself, but if you remember, Creator, he was wasting DPS on the Nexus. Some of his Stalkers were a little bit too far back, so they weren't helping out. And every shot counts. Every little bit of DPS does count. And with the amount of damage that he dealt to the Nexus, you could argue that could have been a Stalker. That could have been 2 Stalkers even. Like every little bit does help there in that situation. And alas, wasn't able to bring it together. Wasn't able to pull it off in the end, and now we're going all the way to Game 5. Can we pull off the reverse sweep? For those that are curious, for those that are now tuning in, Creator, he had a 2-0 lead. Creator, he was up 2-0. He needed one more, una más, the entire time, but it's barely been out of reach. I mean, Game 3 was brutal with the proxy Stargate, where Creator got shut down. Here in Game 4, Creator going for the 3-way all-in had potential, but I mean, that's the risk you take when you go all in, right? It's like, we saw that Stats was barely able to defend, to hold on, wasn't too greedy at all. And Stats was able to, yeah, really show off why he was known as the Shield of Fire, and is looking to reclaim that title as well. Known for his defense. And now it all ends here. It all ends on Crimson Court. Crimson Court coming up next. Here we go. Here we go. It all does come down to this final game. Comes down to one final game here. And we'll see who can make it in. I'll just catching up in the chat. Looks like our players, they need some time. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them whatsoever. Looks like Creator and Stats, they're like, mate, it's the ace match. 1 game left. We need a moment to breathe. It's like, okay. breathe, Pappy, breathe. Do understand. A very tense moment here. As it all comes down to one PvP, one final game here on Crimson Court. Now, when it comes to the map itself, Crimson Court's an interesting one. I mean, you can expand linearly. The third base is quite safe, quite secure on this map. Similar to Amphion in a way. I say that with Blink Stalkers, the walls don't really mean as much just because you can bypass those walls with Blink Stalkers. I'm talking about the mineral walls protecting the fringe bases. So you can try to abuse that. You can be aggressive. We'll see. We're loading in. Our players are back. And we're getting into the ace match. Game 5. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Crimson Court, we have our South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss representing Twisted Minds. Can he pull off the reverse sweep? He's so close to pulling it off. It is a Stats. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss representing Blacklist International. He's been so close for so long. Alas, it's barely out of reach. Can he bring it back? It is Creator. Let's go. This is it. The final game of the qualifier. As a reminder, this is still a qualifier for a qualifier. The closed qualifier is going to be held over the weekend. And we're still not quite there yet. But it is top 3 of Korea. And who are the top 3? Shin for Zerg, Bunny for Terran. And who is it for Protoss? That's the question. Who is the Protoss Korean representative in those closed qualifiers? But now, we see a divergence. 2-gate opener. 2-gate opener out of Stats. Meanwhile, that is a gate expand. Oh my god, we're going right for it. This is the greediest build you can go for. Single gas opener, gateway straight into an expansion before the cyber core, before the second gas, before the tech. Even Max Packs rarely does this. I know that Max Packs, he's known for his quote-unquote gate expands, but Max Packs, he goes gateway, cyber core, Stargate first, then the expansion. And right now, Creator, he's throwing down the gauntlet. He's throwing it down. He's saying, what are you gonna do about it? What are you... Stats does confirm with the Probe Scout, and now the onus is on Stats. Does he go for a one base all in? Does Stats embrace the one base all in, or does he try to play from behind and try to get economic damage done instead? Based on the Adept opener, it looks like an expansion. Adepts, they have potential to get probe kills, and we need to get some economic damage done, otherwise Stats will just be strictly behind. So Adepts are on the way. They're moving out. Low probe. Meanwhile, the probe does move towards the left-hand side. There it is! One base all in. We're going for the proxy. We're setting up the pylon. This looks like a proxy robo location. And we're going to be doubling down here with aggression. Stats is moving out. Again, with this kind of opener in a PvP, you're asking for an all-in. 100%. You're saying, come at me. And Stats, he's coming. Show us the robo. There it is. The robo has been thrown down, and a gateway as well. 3 gateways of robo. From here, we can go into a warp prism to dive into the main. We can go for immortal production as well. I'm leaning towards a warp prism. Adepts are shading in. Their shade is denied. So far, so good. Meanwhile, Creator has yet to confirm. Creator has yet to really get a read on what's going on. Here comes the hallucination. And the hallucination will read both pylons, does get eyes on everything in the main base, but we are lacking production. We're lacking anything. We should be aware. We should be aware of the all-in. If there's no expansion, if there's no extra gateway, if there's no Twilight Council, no Stargate, the money has to be spent somewhere. The money has to be somewhere. Probe Scout is denied. Oh, Creator, he's looking for the expansion. Still trying to confirm, and it looks like he will confirm the proxy. That's a Bay. Oh, that I was not expecting that. Okay, proxy disruptors? Interesting. I mean, we could go Colossus, but I'm leaning towards disruptors. That's more common. I was not quite expecting this kind of variation of all-in, but it's coming. At least Creator's aware. You can see Creator responding with a robo of his own. Extra shield batteries. Shield battery in the main, shield battery with the natural. Adepts, they do get in. Get the power of the prism. Adepts, they bust into the main base. Probes are going down. We get 3 probe kills already. We get 4. Oh, this is becoming too much. This is becoming far too much. 5 probes in the main. Creator taking a lot of economic damage here. Still has a lead. Still has that economic lead. Immortal production has begun, and now we're getting to disruptors. Okay, very high risk, high reward. These disruptors, they can make or break the game for Stats. If they connect, it's over. Like, even a half decent connection at this stage of the game means so much. The first disruptor is about to spawn in. And what are we going for? The economy, the army, the shield batteries. There's 4 shield batteries. Oh my god, that's a lot of shield batteries. Adepts, they don't commit. There we go, we have 2 Adepts waddling into the main. Nova goes up. Ooh, we get 2 units. A Sentry, an Adept, and we get damage done on a shield battery. At the same time, we drop into the main base and we're pulling Creator apart. Probes are going down. 3 more probe kills. That's what, 7 in total? 10 in total. My god. 10 probe kills already. And that disruptor, it's sneaking in. Show us the Nova. Nova goes off. What do we go for? Ooh. We connect with the Immortal. Down to half HP. We have another Nova available. And you can see how valuable they are in this kind of game state. But here comes the Prism. We can juggle. We can macro against them. Macro against them back. Oh, we get a Sentry. Once again, a good pickup. I mean, whatever we can get. It's all value here for Stats. It's all value. Now up to 3 disruptors. 3 Novas now available. We're shading in towards the main base. We collapse on the main army. Nova's going off. Wow, massive connections. We take down the first Immortal. We take down the Stalker, overcharge is popped, but we have to respect it. We do have to respect the overcharge. Stats does retreat. Ooh, we connect nonetheless. 2 more Stalkers. Not enough room in the Prism. And Creator, he's struggling. He's struggling against this. Again, he asked for the all-in, but he wasn't expecting this kind of all-in. Like, Proxy Disruptor, who does that? Who goes for Proxy Disruptor as a response? Nova's going to be going off, zoning away the army. Massive connections. They take down the gateway. The shield battery. Boys are being pulled in a moment of desperation. And this is all that's left. 1 Immortal, 1 Stalker, 1 Sentry, and a Dream. But it looks like Stats, he should have enough. He's losing his Disruptors. Down to 1. 1 Disruptor left. But there's nothing remaining here for Creator. There's no army left. Yeah, we're zoning him away. We have control of the low ground. And Stats, he's done it. He's broken the back of Creator. Immortal's trying to come in from behind. And we're down to only 1 Disruptor, but that's more than enough. I mean, they've done their job. They've done enough damage. And we kill the natural. Creator going across the map. I mean, Stats is 1 base all in. Technically, Creator could lose a base. He could afford it. Could afford to lose the Nexus. But he's down in workers. We break through the front door. We're shading in. We don't quite commit, though. Not yet. Meanwhile, across the map, Immortals wreaking havoc. Killing probes. This is getting close, but Stats still has an overwhelming army. Nova's going up. Yeah, we're going for the shield battery. Shield battery goes down. Boys are being pulled. And we've done it. We've broken the natural. Now we're breaking the main. Across the map, we are getting damage done. Creator microing his heart out, killing probes. But the reality is that this army is just too much to handle. Creator has 2 Immortals. That's all he has left. 2 Immortals in a Warp Prison. And Stats, he retains his probes. He has enough money for another Nexus. And he can just win by elimination. Stats, he can and he will kill every single building. Stats has proxied buildings and he can throw down a Nexus. There's no pressure here for Stats. Pylons are falling. Shield battery, that's all we have left. GG gets called and Stats doesn't. Stats, he will make it. He will qualify for the closed qualifier. GG. GG, well played. Stats, he does it. He pulls off the reverse sweep. He was down 2-0. Creator was so close. He was so close to winning this, even in a 3-0 fashion. Ay, ay, ay. GG, well played. Very impressive play here out of Stats. To be able to bring it all back, to be able to break his opponents time and time again, punishing the aggression, punishing initially the proxy in game 3, punishing the all-in of Creator in game number 4, and here in game 5, Creator went for the greediest build possible. He went for a gate expand. He baited an all-in. Little did he expect Stats to go for a proxy disruptor, and the disruptors, they just had so much value. They picked off unit after unit, shield battery after shield battery. And Stats, what did he do? He snowballed out of control. Yeah. Just became too much. And congratulations to Stats. My condolences to Creator. It's very bittersweet here. I would love to see both these players make it into the closed qualifier. They both deserve it, but there's only enough room for one. Only enough room for one. And Creator, he's such an amazing player. Like, he wears his heart on his sleeve. Very emotional player as well. I mean, he definitely deserves to be there. We saw him pop off in GSL. This most recent season of GSL, Creator, he was popping off hard. Had a deep run, made it to the top 4, but alas, will not make it further in the Esports World Cup. So my heart goes out to Creator. Hope he can get some rest and hope he can recuperate, rest up, and I hope he can bounce back even stronger, even harder in these upcoming online tournaments and even other events on the horizon. You know, there's plenty of there's gonna be more opportunities here for Creator, I'm sure. But GG, well played. Stats will take it. And with that, we're done. With that, we are wrapping up for now. We're going to be going on an extended break. I mean, I say that the stream is going to be going down for a couple of hours. Stream will be going down for almost 3 hours, as in 3 hours we have the European qualifier. We're merely halfway through the day. We're halfway through the day, and in 3 hours the European qualifier is going to be quite similar to this one in the sense of the format. Top three will make it out of the European qualifier. As a reminder, we already have players that have been invited into the main event, and I should show them off here and now. May as well. May as well show them off. One moment. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the back of yourselves. You can see the initial Korean qualifier. Bam. There we go. You can see the initial Korean qualifier and the matches that we had here today. We had Rogue popping off against Ryung. Rogue did bring down Ryung 2-0. Then Shin was able to bring down Rogue 2-1 in a very, very dynamic and very aggressive series. Shin likewise popped off versus Stats. Shin was the first player to qualify. We casted this series earlier, and then we covered Bunny versus Creator. Bunny, he was on fire tonight. He was looking unstoppable, not dropping a single map. Bunny makes it into the close qualifier as well, bringing down Trap and Creator in these TVPs. And we saw the final series, Stats versus Creator. Went all the way to the ace match. Creator won the first 2 games, and then Stats won the remaining 3. The reverse sweep was real. Stats able to keep a cool, calm, and collected head. It's not easy coming back from a 2-0 deficit, but Stats pulled it off. Did pull it off here. And where all these 3 players, Shin, Bunny, and Stats, they make it into the closed qualifier. When it comes to the main event, I'm sure there are people curious about it. The players that will not be having to partake in the qualifiers have already been invited because of their performances throughout the season. We have several making it through from the summer season of EPT, from ESL Masters Summer. We have Clem from ESL Masters Winter. So for those that are curious, I believe this is Yongshipping. So Cyril, he qualified through DreamHack Yongshipping last year. Clem qualified through DreamHack Atlanta last year. Then we had Oliveira make it through from DreamHack, from EPT Spring, DreamHack Dallas. So Oliveira makes it through DreamHack Dallas. From IM Katowice, we had Dark, Kira, and Maru. And from the European standings, we have Hero Marine and Rainer. Max Pax did not accept his slot, as Max Pax does not compete in offline events, so Hero Marine replaces Max Pax instead. So we got Rainer and Hero Marine from Europe, we have Byun and Gumiho from Korea, we have Estrella from the Americas, and Kofi from Asia. And after those European invites and the of course other big DreamHack wins, we have from the global standings, including Korea and Europe. Just from the global EPT standings, we have Classic and Hero as 2 more Protoss from Korea. We have Spirit as our Polish Terran and Solar as our Korean Zerg. So the quality of players here in this event are going to be insane. You have the best of the best. We've got Cyril, you got Dark, Rainer, and Solar for Zerg. You've got Cure, Maru, Oliveira, you got a lot of Terran. Clem, you got Hero Marine, Byun, Gumiho, Coffee, Spirit. A lot of Terran. The majority Terran here as well. And from Protoss, you have Estrella, Classic, and Hero. So plenty of Protoss representation. Are we missing any big names? I feel like the biggest names coming in from the European regionals are going to be the Protoss players. I'm referring to Showtime and Skillus. I feel like Showtime and Skillus are going to be the big ones to beat. As a reminder, Clem, Hero Marine, and Spirit are already invited. They already made it into the main event. So the top 3 European Terrans are already in, which means the European Protosses are going to be stepping up. Likewise, European Zerg players are already in as well. You have Cyril and Rainer. Yes, I do think that a Laser and Lambo can definitely threaten. They can threaten Showtime and Skillus. And I feel like that's really what it's going to come down to, right? It's going to be coming down to Showtime, Skillus, Lambo, and a Laser as top 4. And then you've got players as well that can threaten them, you know, like your Harstams, your Waynes, your Cristiano, your Geralt. They're definitely players that can contest against the upper echelons of the European region and the European scene. So in 3 hours' time, that's what we're going to be. That is where we are going to be. You can see here the European qualifier. The check-ins are still open, the sign-ups are still open for the European qualifier. So again, that's going to be in 3 hours time, and just like the Korean one, 3 players will make it into the closed qualifier, so wish them all the best. Do wish them all the best. I hope we're all okay. Hold on. No. I hope Creator's okay. I mentioned before that he's really emotional, and Creator, he's taking it a little bit hard. I'm not gonna show it, but Creator, he's taking it really hard, losing here against Stats. Yeah. My heart goes out to Creator. He's having a hard time. My heart goes out. Much love, Creator. Much love. Yeah, and I hope he's okay. Take care. Again, I'm looking forward to seeing more of Creator. In the upcoming tournaments. Looking forward to it. For now, we're going to be heading off. We're going to be heading off for the day. And again, send Creator some love on social. If you're a fan of Creator, send him some love on social media. You know, it can be really easy to focus on like negative things. And again, like this is the biggest tournament for all these players. And Creator, he just joined a new team. He just joined Blacklist International, and I'm sure he wanted to do well for his team as well. I'm sure his team were expecting him to do well. So yeah, my heart does go out to him. But for now, we're going to be heading off. We're going to be heading off for the time being, and we'll be back in 3 hours time with the European qualifier. We'll see you guys then. Until then, get some food, get some water, get some rest. I'm going to make some coffee. It's going to be a long night. It's already almost midnight here in Australia. It's almost midnight, so gonna be resting up, and we'll be back soon in a couple of hours. Until then, thanks for watching. Stick around. We're gonna be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. I'm not sure who's live right now, but we'll be back in a couple of hours. So give them some love, give them some support. Until then, hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego.